Hello. That
Where do we
was
start?
under. We are on.
Where do
We
we
are live
start?
already.
Yeah. We are live,
Uh,
man.
how about we start from the toss? Because time and again, I feel like um, Pat Cummins loses a game right there.
Okay, just to give the viewers a bit of context here, the Chris is a Australia fan and he is having a very bad day. Uh, in that sense, I suppose we all expected the match to be much closer. But as you raised the point, Chris, yeah, like that was a good toss to win and a bad choice to bat first. Especially considering almost everywhere in India around this time of the year, dew is a big factor, right? Like if
Yeah,
you win a toss in a day and night game, it's always safer to ball first and bat later because dew factor comes in. It's not the only complaint you have today, right? Like there are a bunch of them for if you're watching from an Australian standpoint.
yeah. I'll try to remain, or rather tone down. I don't think I can remain neutral. I'll try to tone down how I feel about things. So, a little context is I've been up from 4 a.m. today, and I was at Bangalore today morning, and I had to reschedule my plans just so I can make for the game. And I reached the stadium, and I had to like go to 10 vendors before I could get my hands on one of the Australian jerseys. Um, then the queue was insanely long, as you can imagine. Um, Finally, like you settle down and you look forward to a good contest. Mitch Marsh gets out right away. So, but before that, like Dave was mentioning, my beef and conundrum with this current Australian side is they do not have the steel and resilience that some of the older generations that we are used to, right? Be it the Ricky Ponting days or even Michael Clark, and uh, to an extent Steve Smith. The Pat Cummins Australia side after the sandpaper gate is all about camaraderie. um, it's about uplifting the spirit of the game and everything. And sadly, that has come at the cost of Australia losing, its killer instincts. That's second
It's a
nature
bit
to
of
Australia.
bite,
Yeah,
right? It's a bit of bite that is missing.
yeah,
Not that sort
exactly.
of Ricky Ponting sort of bite
Yeah,
where when he's in the pitch, he's the boss. That sort of a vibe to the team is a bit
yeah.
lost.
So the reason that I brought that up is Australia won the toss, and here's the tricky part, right? So against India, you don't go into bat first because we all know the guard mode that Kohli enters anytime it's a run chase, and like you said, the view is a big factor. And it's very logical to just put India to bat. Maybe they score 300, 340 with their batting lineup. But still, you back yourself up, right? Because it doesn't matter what you have on the board. When there is a Kohli in the team or KL Rahul today or Ishan Kishan, these are master chasers. Um, but the problem for Australia is this, right? Australia suck at chasing simply because we are living in an era where their bowling is much stronger than their batting, uh, which means Pat Cummins continues to back himself on the team to set targets and then try to defend it, stranglehold the opposition with their three pace attack of Cummins, Hazelwood, and Mitchell Stark. We saw that happen in India versus Australia, the bilateral series in Chepauk last year, when Australia, I don't, yeah, I think even then Pat Cummins chose to bat. Australia put in like 250, 260 something, and it did not look like it was going to go Australia's way, despite similar early wickets like today. So, again, Kohli was the master chaser at that time. He scored a 50. He was the only one kind of holding the match together. Then, if you remember, there was this brain fart of an over he had where he would just try to keep going over extra cover. He just desperately wanted to hit a boundary over extra cover, which was manned by David Warner. He tries it the first time, the ball lands short. He tries it the second time, the ball lands short again, and he would still go on to try the third time. This time, Warner would catch it, and from there on, the match was gone. Match slipped out of India. Jadeja batted for a bit. He was trying to fight a lone battle. It didn't work out. Australia strangled India and won that match. Right. Uh, Today, there was a similar seminal moment in the game when India were three down, less than 5 or 6 overs maybe at that point, and I think Pat Cummins may have been the bowler, or maybe it was Josh Hazelwood. Like he bowls this quality bouncer. Kohli tries to
I think
pull
it was Hazelwood.
Hazelwood. Kohli tries to pull, and I don't know who the other fielder was, but it was between him and Carey, and it was a keeper's call any day of the week, right? Keeper has the gloves, it's heading high, you have to make a dive. You would expect the fielder to make way and the keeper to, you know, have a safe pair of hands with the gloves and everything and catch, right? But the catch gets dropped, and Kohli and Rahul, they don't look back. I don't think there was even any opportunity from there on in the game, not even half a chance. India were like probably 30 for 3 at that point. India ends with 200 for 4.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a pause with my rant. I'm going to let you speak.
There were mistakes in terms of batting for Australia. There were also, I do not know, when you have taken 3 wickets, dropping such a crucial catch as you mentioned was also suicidal from Australia. From an Indian perspective, I would say that I still have a lot of qualms with the team, especially the Indian top order scares me, man. Like. This was 200 to chase. So okay, there's enough recovery time if you even if you have lost 3 wickets, there's enough recovery time. You have what 34 overs still left. You do not have that many runs to get. You can relax a bit and like play your game because you can chase it down if you stay long enough on the pitch. Uh, Problem is, what if the score would have been bigger? What if it was actually like 300 or 340, which are totals which India probably will have to face down the road. You cannot afford to lose your entire top order within like 2 overs. That is irresponsible. That is you cannot sustain that. Like even today, India could have lost very easily. I thought that catch getting dropped, like you said, changed the match. Had India lost that 1 wicket, nervousness would have set in. Australians would have come
The
in more.
apart from there, the game was probably 10
Yeah,
overs from there on at that point.
yeah. Because India does have a decent lower order, but then not that great to face a completely charged up Australian lineup, I would say. Uh, that's where Kohli excelled. He gave that one chance. He did not let go of his head after that. Very calm batting under the circumstances. But there was no scoreboard pressure, and you can see what the lack of a Shubman Gill does to the Indian or top order. Shubman Gill is very clearly, for at least for the past year or so, he has been the anchor of the Indian top order. You can almost always rely on him to be safe and sound, get those quick 40s maybe or a half century. He's averaging more than 50, I think, this year. Without him, you suddenly look and you go, okay, there's Ishan Kishan, who sometimes scores, sometimes does not. Rohit Sharma has been incredibly hit or miss this entire year, I would say, with like occasional good half centuries. But then there are string of 2-3 matches where he gets out very cheaply. Shreyas Iyer just came back from injury, so seeing a shot like that from him is not. I cannot really. It wasn't a very good shot, but then it is somewhat still understandable. But my entire point is, without Gill, this top order looks very weak. Middle order is strong and became strong as soon as KL Rahul got his chance back in the team and took his opportunity with both hands, I would say. I think, if I'm not wrong, and I could be wrong here, please don't quote me on this. We have to check the stats. But I think in the number 5 position, KL Rahul is averaging more than 60 throughout his career, I think, which is it is a very high number. I'm not very good with numbers, but yes, he is that good. Like his number 5 average is the best amongst his career average in across all positions he has batted. So as soon as he came in, they became pretty sure that Indian team will have that safe middle order. Bowling wise was good though. Everyone was pretty good. Restricting a team like Australia there that quickly is credit to be given
And
to all the bowlers really.
it's also interesting that I brought this up about Australia before, but this is the first time in like 10 years of ICC tournaments where India also is more reliant on its bowling than its batting, right? I think
Yeah.
it's an interesting crossroads for two giants and favorites of the game. Uh, that is actually, uh, heavily bowling reliant. And Venkat,
Hmm.
we have on chat says Aussie's spin attack is mid, I guess. Yeah, I think that's a very fair point.
Yes.
In fact, anytime you feel like Maxwell or Zampa come into the attack, they don't have that teeth that somebody like Nathan Lyon has in the test lineup, right? So immediately you can sense the batsman getting comfortable, just knocking it around for
Yeah.
singles, twos, and especially in a low
And
scoring game,
that's
some
Yeah, and that's why it was a
like
stupid
Zampa,
not it was not that great of a decision to bowl second, because
yeah,
when you do not have quality spinners, I have them have a go at this Chepauk ground, which is
yeah.
early and like dry in the morning, but as evening rolls around, it will have dew, and if you do not have a good spin attack, it will suffer. Like it suffered today. So I don't think it was a very smart decision to, like you said, I agree with that. I don't think it was a smart decision to bowl second in these conditions.
And neither Zampa nor Maxwell, they are particularly, economical. I'm gonna choke you to death type of bowlers. Somebody like Sunil Narayan or even Ravichandran Ashwin. So they are strike bowlers. So if you give them like 300, 350 on the board, and if your pace attack takes like 3 wickets, and they can come in and just flight the ball up, and with the increasing run rate and everything, the middle order has no choice but to go all guns blazing. That's when somebody like Zampa really comes through. I am not sure how useful he's gonna be in low scoring games where he doesn't have like the necessary arsenal to actually thwart the batsman with raw skill. um,
Hmm.
okay, so one more
The
statistic
loss
that's
of Ashton Agar is also
yes,
felt in the
definitely.
Australian
Mhm.
team.
Apparently Australia
He
has,
was supposed to be the premium spinner
yeah,
in these conditions. He was supposed to be the main spinner of Australian team. Very unfortunate an injury. there at a bad time for Australian team.
Just tying back to another comment from Venkat, this just makes me sad, man. Australia has never won a World Cup where they lost a match against India in group stages or matches before finals.
Damn, no.
What
Okay,
else?
actually,
Positives?
I think. Huh?
Any positives you see for India?
Bowling attack is great. I think if this is the bowling attack that is maintained throughout the tournament, with the possible dropping of, say, Ashwin for certain pitches, maybe for additional pace bowler, the bowling attack is pretty settled, I would suppose. The middle order looks great. The lower order is good. I don't think the top order they need to fix. Nah, hopefully Gill comes back soon. But apart from that, I'm more confident about the bowling, I would say, than the batting, like you said. Bowlers, I trust Bumrah to get wickets. I think Kuldeep Yadav is in the form of his life currently. Uh, he's having an incredible run of games, picking up wickets every game. If he's by chance not picking up wickets, then he's strangling the batsman. So he's doing his job. Mm, Siraj is the most improved fast bowler, I would say, in international cricket in the past 12 months or so. So bowling attack looks great. Batting, if they could get Gill in as soon as possible, or somehow Rohit Sharma goes back to his, I do not know, year of the form, sort of form he had in previous World Cup. Uh, Otherwise, the top order is in trouble, man. So I think this might not be the last top order batting collapse we'll see this tournament from India.
So I'm gonna take that question for myself. Let me think of any positives for the Australian team as far as I can remember. I think one immediate call out would be Labuschagne. Let me quickly just check how much he scored today. Um,
24 or 27,
27.
I think.
Okay, 27,
27.
but it was fairly proactive. Not good enough, but somehow that is good enough for him to end up as the third highest run scorer. Stark was
Yeah, that is sad.
78. And I think Labuschagne is
Yeah,
a
that's
really
not good.
good pick for somebody who was left out of the initial squad. He made his way back in after a terrific series in South Africa, even though Australia went on to squander a 2-0 series lead there.
Yeah.
Labuschagne had definitely gained his form back, and he made the World Cup squad on the back of that brilliant form um, in that series. And I really liked, at least from what I saw in the stadium, there was a sense of confidence as long as Labuschagne was around.
Hmm.
And I think Steve Smith. So it's a given at this point. Guy
Yeah.
has same track record, especially against India. He averages like 54, and I think today he made a 47 in really tricky conditions. So having Steve Smith and Labuschagne be in good touch is gonna it, that's gonna be the make or break for an otherwise really fragile.
These are interesting thing is that both of these players are very successful test batsmen as well. So you could see how being good technically helps you in these conditions. So I think you are right in the sense that Labuschagne in the squad gives more strength to the batting lineup, and I think he's going to be very important in the subsequent matches, especially when there are positions where Australia need to consolidate their innings in certain phases of matches.
Right. All right. I think we can probably wrap up in the next 5 minutes. What's your biggest concern
Yeah,
other
top order.
than top order?
Top
Yeah.
order, man. I think if the top order is fixed, or in case like Rohit Sharma, they get see Gill has to come back. I think uh, I don't see a way out other than that. Say Gill comes back and maybe
Who
Rohit
do you
Sharma
drop?
suddenly picks up form. If Gill
Who do
comes
you
back,
drop?
I would drop Ishan Kishan for now.
Okay.
Gill opens, Shreyas comes sorry, two down, right? Two down.
Okay, so
So
I think
yeah,
throwing the same question to me then. Alex Carey, I think we are over reliant on somebody in a position who has absolutely not inspired any kind of confidence in this format of the game. Carey has kind of been the savior for Australia in the test lineup for over 2 years now, but he has definitely not translated that. I think today also he went out for a duck. Um, Carey is pretty much the last recognized batsman, and he's a number five. So after him, you have Cameron Green, who's more of a bowling all-rounder at this point. But right now, somebody like a Pat Cummins or a Mitchell Stark, they give me more confidence than your wicketkeeper batsman, a position which was held by the likes of Adam Gilchrist. That's
yeah.
not comforting at all. So
Australia have
who
had
will
a problem in that section, wicket keeper batsman
for a
section.
while? If you remember,
Hopefully, your mood will
Gandalf.
improve later in the. Hopefully, your mood will improve later in the night, man. Barca is facing
Yeah,
Getafe,
I'll just
I
throw out
think.
the Marshall this evening. I was just giving a call out to Gandalf, who couldn't make it to today's
Yeah,
call, but who's also a hardcore Australia fan. If you remember,
yeah.
when we were doing one of our first weekly, he rightly called out that Carey is going to be a weakling for this Australia squad. I don't want to blame Knight on him, but him being the conduit between the middle order and the tail, he has a lot more responsibility, and right now he's not showing any signs to say that hey, I'm actually ready. You can trust me. Um, so yeah, I think at least that ends the rant for me from my side. Closing thoughts.
Let's see. Hopefully, who are India facing next? I
I have
completely
no idea.
forgot.
I have to check.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this World Cup is going a bit under the radar. I think the I am a bit scared. Which teams are you? I would put this as the closing year. Which team are you most scared about next facing as an Australia fan?
Yeah. So by the way, India's next match is against Afghanistan.
Uh,
I guess you have
India
two
wins that.
wins out of two in the bag with that.
Yeah, yeah,
Afghanistan,
yeah,
they're a bit of a dark horse in T20. I don't think they have the firepower to sustain a 50-over
yeah, yeah, yeah.
onslaught from Afghanistan. I don't give them any chance. Who do Australia? Oh, wow. We face South Africa.
Oh,
uh,
yeah, that is going to be a good match.
oh, damn. Australia, South Africa, then we have Sri Lanka, we have Pakistan, and lastly
Acha,
Netherlands.
yeah, see, Australia will win against Sri Lanka, I think, very easily. Like they are a bit destroyed at the moment after they went through that grinder called Aiden Markram.
Fair enough. So India's next game after Afghanistan is Pakistan, of course. Then you have
Oh,
Bangladesh, New Zealand. Fair to say India have the easier run of games. Uh,
I am a
like
bit
every
scared about Pakistan.
it's an
There,
ICC tournament. It's not a T20. Um,
yeah, fair enough.
yeah. Australia. I am scared of South Africa because up until going down 2-0, they look totally deflated. So we didn't rate them at all when we did our weekly, squad ratings or whatever that was.
Huh.
South Africa was 2-0 down at that point at home. against a second string Australia squad. Since then, they turned that series around. They have come here, they have thrashed Sri Lanka. Like, it seems like they are starting to peak at the right time. I would still give the edge to Australia purely because of the experience, but it can easily turn out to be a bogey team, which is gonna completely dismantle our
You,
chances of qualification.
you are giving credit to Australia purely because of bias reasons.
Cool. So I think that ends our CU reactions. If anybody has actually followed the episode till then, we also have the weekly where we discuss cricket, football, and pro wrestling. And we have CU specials where we deep dive, we give our opinions on very specific topics. We have done a couple of those in pro wrestling. If you are by chance a cricket fan who's watching this who also likes pro wrestling, do check it out. CU Reactions is an experiment that we thought we'll start today, wherein we don't come really super prepared with a slide deck and all, which we usually do, but instead get on a call impromptu, uh, see what's the hottest, event in the sporting calendar that particular day. For example, like both of us were watching this game, and we know everybody we know is also watching this game. So this is just us reacting to things, without much filter. So do check out our other material that we have put out. Um, well, we'll see you in another episode of Sports Entertainment Weekly.
Good night.